What's going on, Airsofters? ODA here. My name is Matt. Today we're going to be doing part 6 of our Q&A video series. Now, real quick before we begin, you may notice that I'm pretty much the only one here. Normally we have a couple teammates come out and join us and have a Q&A session, but today it's just going to be me. So, and for this, what we did is I actually went on Instagram and I asked you guys if you had any questions for me personally or anything Airsoft related directed towards me that you'd like to ask. And actually, I got quite a few results. Quite a few answers, so today we're going to be answering a few of those questions off our Instagram page. Now before I get into that, if you want to check out our Instagram page, I'll leave it on the screen right here. It's at ODA Airsoft GC, same as the YouTube channel name. And if you want to follow my personal account, that's at ODAA number 37. Again, I'll put it right there so you can see it. And those are pretty much our two main Instagram accounts. We have other ones branching out for other team members you can also check out, but those are the two main ones, like channel, me, whatever. So anyway, before we begin, I'd also like to mention that we had a poll on our Facebook page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And what we asked you guys was to name the ammo cannon. We got quite a few results. We got quite a few questions and feedback back on the what we should name it. And turns out that everyone actually liked our third result, which was the question and ammo box, Q&A ammo box. It's kind of clever, so I kind of like that. So thanks you guys for supporting the idea and everything. Thanks for voting. Really awesome time. So. Alright, without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I guess we'll go ahead and start answering some of our Instagram questions. Alright, so Carson Winston, sorry my bad. How do you play in CQB? Fast or slow tactical? Now, I really don't play a lot of CQB because mainly the only CQB place that's really close to us is Combat City, and that's all the way up in Orlando. That's probably about a 3-hour drive for us, so we can't really get up there too often to play. We've been there up there a couple of times, made a couple videos up there. Really great indoor arena. They used to have this really great indoor arena by us. It was called Battlegrounds, and that was only about 30 minutes away. And that reminded me very much of a Combat City. It was very similar indoors, and we used to play there a lot. And from when I used to play there, when I was first starting out playing Airsoft, I used to play slow tactical, but I think I, kind of inching my way up, holding down a position, stuff like that. But I think I started, when I went into the Combat City arena, I kind of started branching out into the fast, I'm obviously not a speed softer, I don't run around like some of those guys out there, that's insane, those guys are awesome, but I kind of like, I guess I can say a little mixture in between. I kind of like to play it tactical, but at the same time, take my time, but at the same time I like to, get rush in there, go really fast if I really need to. So I'd say, to answer your question, about halfway in between, I guess I'd say. Alright, so let's see what else we got. Opinions on, okay, Drew's, wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to read this correctly. Dress Hunter, I'm sorry if I butchered this, which I probably did. Opinion on purely functional kits not based on anything versus milsim kits based on actual units. So basically what he's asking is, functionality kits or realistic kits. I like to find, for me personally, I like functionality. If I'm going to just put an NVG on my head that doesn't function, I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, if you can somehow find, stick to realism and find it functioning, definitely do that. So if you can find an NVG, I'd call that, some might say that's overkill. I personally think it would give you a distinct advantage on the field. But if you can find something like that, you're sticking to the realisticness of it, and at the same time adding, what's the word? It's, effectiveness to it. It's practical. So, for me personally, I don't like putting anything on my kit that I'm not going to be using. I don't believe in that. I don't know. Some guys really like to look really milsim, and props to those guys for looking really awesome. But for me personally, I really like just to stick to the stuff that works and the stuff that functions. That's just how I kind of look at things. Alright, so we can go to the third question. Alright. Olympic weightlifter Josh wants to know, what is a good molle vest to get for no more than $80 to $90? Now, if you're looking for something around that price range, I would recommend getting something made by Condor. Everyone has mixed opinions on Condor. I actually use them a little bit. I like them. I've really never had any problems with Condor gear, despite what other people say about it. I think they're pretty decent. So I would go ahead and get a Condor kind of draw vest, something like that. Not cross draw, it's like 20. Like maybe a Condor MOPC. I actually purchased one of their Cyclone plate carriers, and that was actually pretty good. And that was only, I think, like 70. I don't exactly remember the exact numbers, but definitely going to meet your price range there, and they have a couple different selections of vests. And for the price, they actually make pretty good stuff, despite what contrary beliefs say. Now, obviously, it's not going to be as good as, say, something like from LBX, like an LBX, what are those plate carrier numbers? I want to say 0094 vests? I don't know. I forget the numbers on them, but those are really high-quality vests. and you can get some like realistic military ones out there for a lot more expensive. Like you're talking like up to $200 worth of vest, you know. But for airsoft purposes, I just go Condor. You know, that's what I use sometimes on occasion. They're pretty good, so definitely Condor for that price range. And let's see, this is a pretty one. And Masterson25 wants to know, what is the favorite airsoft gun you've ever used? I think he means, what is the most favorite airsoft gun I've ever used? And that would actually be, in my opinion, the VFC Scar. Now, I've always had a fondness for the Scar. One, for being, I've always been a fan of AR-style platform weapons, okay? And to me, I see the Scar as kind of like the level up from an M4 base kind of thing, okay? It's got like ambidextrous controls, which most M4s do not have. It's got that realistic field stripping on it. You know, breaks down to 5 parts, kind of like. It's kind of like an upgraded M4 in a sense. It's kind of like, obviously it's not an M4, but it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like a level up from the M4 in my opinion. Obviously, you know, it has just disadvantages and advantages to it, but that's how I kind of see it in terms of things. It's got ambidextrous controls on it. It's really lightweight. You know, it's got that polymer metal mixture in it. You know, it's got like a lot of features on it, flip up front and rear sights, things like that. So it's kind of like an upgrade from like your classic M4 style weapons. So that's what I like about it. Alright, I can move on to my other account here and check out what else we got going on there. Alright, Liz.Piz wants to know, when just starting Airsoft, I guess he's saying just when we started Airsoft, should you buy BDUs? Yes, absolutely. You can get BDUs from a basic Army-Navy store. They don't go for very much. You can order them online. Again, they're not very expensive. And I find BDUs to be very, very important. I see a lot of guys wearing street clothes. And the problem with Airsoft is that you get hit in the arm a lot, you're going to get, you know, I've had welts. I've actually had a couple scars from like rolling up my sleeves on my BDUs if I'm like playing really close quarters. But keeping long sleeve BDUs on will like keep down on like those really nasty welts for the most part, as opposed to just being open bare skin. The second advantage is if you get the correct pattern and color to, like, say you're playing in a desert environment, you get like a tan type camo, then you can actually kind of blend in with your environment a little bit. Obviously, it probably won't completely conceal you, but it'll definitely give you a distinct advantage for just say someone that's using jeans and a t-shirt, right? And also, you know, I think it just looks cool. I mean, you want to, you know, on top of the vest and the gun and everything, everyone wants to look just really cool. I mean, who doesn't? So, so I'd say just by adding, you know, on a BDU, they're not that expensive. It's going to add protection, camouflage, and it's just going to look awesome. So definitely invest in some BDUs. All right, so I think that's going to end it up for our Instagram questions. If you actually, by the way, before I forget to mention this, if you have any questions for future Q&A videos, answer them in the comments section below of this video, and we will go around them and go through our past couple videos that we've made and pick our favorite ones and throw them into the question and ammo box and answer them. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. Start picking a few out here. I think we have time for about 2, maybe 3. All right. Jacob Bobon wants to know, how long have you played Airsoft and what got you started? That's a very interesting question. All right. I've been playing Airsoft since, I believe, 2008, 2007. Okay, so about 6 years, if my math's correct on that, which it probably isn't because I'm terrible at math. So 2007, yeah, I say about 7 years, about 7 years. And what got me started, I actually knew a couple buddies of mine from ice hockey. I play ice hockey, and they got into Airsoft. I don't know exactly how they got started. They tell me, hey Matt, maybe you should come out and play, you know, it's kind of fun. I'm like, alright, fine, I'll go out. Went out, rented a gun, absolutely fell in love with it. I played a few more games, rented a couple of guns. That's how I got started, by using rental guns, which is what I recommend to beginners. Go to your field, rent some guns, rent some paintball masks, and just play, have fun with it. And then once I was ready, I actually bought myself a classic Army Scar for like it was like on eBay for like, someone was selling for like $100 or something. And that was like my first like legitimate Airsoft gun. I love that gun. I still have it actually. And it pretty much just went from there. We pretty much just, I kind of fell in love with it. And it really just took off. I then started getting into the gear and everything. I got my first cross-draw vest, and I started playing at more advanced fields other than, like, you know, some of those smaller kind of things. I started moving up to, like, the bigger, technically milsim, I guess you can say, fields like DV8. That's technically a milsim field, I guess you can consider it, how massive it is and everything. They have it set up. Started moving into CQB, things like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I just got started, actually off of a friend, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and just went from there. Alright, so I say we got about time for one more question out of the ammo box, and then we'll conclude. Alright, For the last question of the day, we have Trey World 27, and he asks, what is your favorite gun manufacturer, like KWA, Umarex, etc.? Now that's actually kind of hard to answer. For pistols, I like KWA. Pistols, I definitely like KWA. I like their GBBs, I'm fond of that. I think they make really good products. I never was a huge fan of their AEGs. I don't know why. I've had kind of rough experiences with them. I've had a couple CQRs. They're good, don't get me wrong. They're great guns. But I've had a few problems with them, gears breaking, things like that. Not really a huge issue. It's common in airsoft guns, but a couple other brands I've had haven't really given me any issues. So G&G, I have this G&G Raider up there. I'm looking at it. That might be the only gun I have actually not broken, and that's probably like a $150 gun. I haven't broken that one. So whatever G&G is doing, they're doing it right. But I'd have to say my favorite gun company would have to be VFC. The main reason why I really like them is I really like how they build the externals of their guns. I don't know what they do, I don't know how they do it, but they make, I'm looking at one right over there, it's my VFC Scar, and they make them just so realistic, and they make them out of very high quality external parts. Like the polymer parts are really good, the aluminum parts are really solid, they make them look really good, really realistic. And I just like that about a gun company. That's what I really look for most in a gun company is a couple things. One would be the realism and quality of the parts, and then the second would be the functionality, like reliability and things. In terms of the VFC Scar, I've had really good reliability issues. I know people have had problems with them, but for me personally, I haven't really had any issues with them. I never had them break anything. I've never broken a gear from them. I think one broke one piston once. And that was just because I was like running some crappy BBs through it. I don't know why I was doing that. I think I like mixed up something. I don't even know how that happened, but don't run .12s, kids. And so that's pretty much it. The couple to name off my list would have to be VFC, G&G. I like GMP. They make some really good stuff. And I guess fourth on my list would be KWA. But for pistols, though, I'd have to say first in line would be KWA because they make some really good GBBs. Alright, well that's going to about conclude our 6th episode of our Q&A. Well, not technically, it's my Q&A because I'm the only one here. Hashtag forever alone. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to click that like button down below and subscribe to stay up to date with our most recent uploads if you're interested in that. And also, if you want to hit us up on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, I'll leave a link to our Facebook in the description, and I'll tell you all about our Instagram page. It's also in the description, so you can follow us, check us out. We upload pictures regularly, weekly, whatever. And yeah, that'll pretty much be it, so thanks for watching.